Hi guys, Acesup here. Tail end of the session, 8 AM here, and you can see a final table top middle. It's only a $5 2 rebuy one add-on, but there was 691 players, so it's still a couple of thousand for first. And I did have a chip lead with about 14 or 15 players left, but lost a couple of key pots and was doing well in a full tilt $26 as well. Had a big chip lead in that and then lost a key flip and ended up final table bubbling. There's not really too much else that's with that deep in. Where is it? We are in the money in this. What is this? $11 rebuy out on. We're 26 of 35, top 40 got paid. And everyone's really crazy short in that. As we are in this 13:20 Thursday challenge. Got a big stack, but it's still very early in this action hour. We're 17 of 176, and it was a pretty profitable action hour because it set us up with M. What have we got there? M24? I thought it'd be bigger than that. So back to this final table. 6 players left. Pretty big difference. 400 out, far out next. 2,000 up top. And it's a very mixed table. Decision made in the red, been playing well, very active, pressuring. Pretty sure he's folding here. He's been raising a lot, and he does fold. But this Anal 19 guy, he's been raising a lot too. These two have been very, very active, and they've actually had some pretty big battles and swapped the chip lead around back and forth a bit. I don't think I can. Well, this guy here has been very tight. And this guy here has been pretty tight as well, so he does fold. So that's a good result. I was hoping that this guy would open there, or even pocket 2-0 on the button. I think jamming is okay there with the ace. But it's very mixed because these two are very loose, and these two down here are being very tight. And it's made this sort of interesting dynamic. Ace 9 looking pretty good. What are we going to do for our now raises? UTG, Poker M9, quite off. Oh, that's lucky he folded because it would have been a really hard decision. Now it's a pretty easy one. I'm just going to stuff all the marbles in. 2, 3, 4. I only have 2 there. Are we? No, a little bit more than that. Gotta be careful. I think I might actually M8 10. I could have opened it. 3, 4. Could have open folded it, but it's a bit gross at that stack depth. And those two aggressive players are behind us. I want to just ICMIs of that. It's a pretty close spot. I'm curious to see what it says to do. I'll bring the ICMIzer in a minute, guys. I'm set it up so I don't have the proper cash payouts, but I just have it set up like it's a Sunday million, which is probably not too big a deal. Because the payouts run, because the field is quite big. So even though it's a much smaller payout, it's probably relatively accurate in terms of ICM decisions. Would be my guess anyway. Yeah, so 10 Jack is actually slightly just on a fold. Jack Queen off is break even, 0. So I thought it'd be close. But I think, these guys behind are not calling this tight, so if we adjust that, it's a pretty easy fold. 7. Fukuturo gets his double up. This is an interesting spot where the big blind has been so tight. I think we can actually raise to fold rather than just jam. I think it might be a better play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like 83,919. And if he does stuff it in, we're probably completely crushed beyond belief. Because he's been quite tight. And I was a little bit afraid he might do that to us and just call. And it's unfortunate because it's costing us a lot of chips now, but I don't think we can not see bet. Hopefully he's got Jack 9 suited or something. It looks like he's got 10 Jack, or probably King 10, 9, 10 suited. Maybe something like that. He could even have a small ace. He's so tight, I guess. And that was really an annoying outcome. Now I wish maybe we had have jammed. Because he might have just had a hand that he was just folding. Like a small ace, or like an ace 4 off or something, you know. You know, quite close, but I think the mini ball game there is probably okay against that specific player. You know, if it was one of these guys, I would just stuff it in. You know, and maybe he would have called us, so maybe we did sort of save ourselves there. And we do still have him sort of 6, so yeah, no regrets really about that little mini, not even small ball, it was mini ball, wasn't it? I might just think for a minute here rather than just snap stuff in the beans. Probably doesn't make too much difference to our ranges, but you never know. Tanking for ages might be a little bit obvious. We do get the ISO with the Ace Jack. And we managed to hold, which is super duper. That was a good one. Looks like this guy's just, you know, saved us any complicated decision here by opening UTG since he's tight. If this guy had a raised cutoff, it would have been pretty hard, 40, 50, 70, 80. I think I would have just, well, yeah, I think I might have even have just shoved it. Probably just would have gone for a big shove. I will go ahead and isolate here with a full size jam. So we get down to 4, and we've kind of got a few chips now, which is good. I actually don't mind our position here too much. I mean, it's not awesome, but one sec guys, just going to close the window here, it's getting really cold. Back in time for ace queen, top right here. Do still have some tables on the outside, another 6 that you can't see. Ready to bring in, if we happen to bust. Let me think about this. I think, how do we want to do this? I think we just want to raise that way to like 27.98 or something. Try and make it just look like a button steal. Did it work? Well, I wouldn't say it necessarily worked. He does have 5s, but we do manage to get there. I guess I'm going to call here. It's a little bit too cheap not to. And we can probably go for a check raise here, I think. Kind of annoying that the guy didn't bet, obviously. We certainly could have donked out. Is that a large raise, or is it just me? 6, 12, 18. Let's go again, and this guy is not going to quite fold that, can we? Wow, this guy has just smashed the hell out of it. Can he have a 7? I don't think we can quite fold yet. Been running okay today. This guy can probably have a 7, but he's called from small blind against button raise, so shouldn't really have too many 7s. I guess he could have a small set and not want to just jam it pre because his ICM's high. If he's got a 7, I guess it would be A7. Pretty surprised if he bets here. And I don't think there's any point in betting. And he does just have King Jack. So I think the key piece of information there was that he called the raise pre from the button. That was really the what am I going to do here? It's just hard to put a 7 in his hand, to place a 7 in his hand when he's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24. 209,199 at 16.24. What the hell is that? 1 second. Just the freaking wind, I guess, or a ghost, spirit, something. It's pretty gross. Wow, that's just a crazy thing to happen. Interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy's folding because I don't think he's going to trap there. He's just being a massive fish. It looks like. And when I say he's being a massive fish, I mean. It's pretty gross to overcall like that amount of chips and then fold to jam. I don't even really know how it happens. This is pretty risky, this raise here, because this guy seems very ICM aware. And I hate getting in this spot where we're spewing chips post. No, I mean not spewing. That's 21. But it's just very easy for him to play well against us. Because of the other stack sizes around. I mean, he can just raise here and know that we're pretty unlikely to play back at him without the cheese, because we don't want to be the next to bust with the ICM. And so that's the danger of this type of situation, and that's why you've got to be a little bit careful. Well, I think 9, 18, 15, 17. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to raise. I think I should raise the fold here. I think we're in pretty bad shape there. Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty gross the way he can leverage. I mean, you look at this beautiful leverage he gets. I mean, for us to re-raise here, we've got to put a ton of our stack in. And do we want to do it with these guys short? It's pretty close, because I mean, he shouldn't really be raising a lot of hands here. You know, he's representing a pretty polarized range. You know, like a king 10, a king 9, or that wants to get value, or like a 7 of diamonds or something. You know, so he's repping a very polarized range. But at the same time, it's very, very hard for us to play back at him there. And if we do, and then he shoves, I mean, it's just gross, you know, because we just give up so many chips. So what I would probably prefer to do, rather than have that, is get in that sort of situation. What am I going to do there? 4, 9, 13. He's kind of loose. He's just flatted. He's loose. I'm just going to shove there. I think as long as the button's folding, it's not too bad. But he's only flatted and he's on the button, so he should be folding. I mean, if he's trapped, he's trapped. But just bad luck. And we do have the best hand. But I mean, it's just the pot odds were massive. You know, it's what prompted me to do that. It's a real win. It's a real bonus if we can get a heads up. And this guy's pretty loose. And as it was, we were ahead, obviously. So it makes it look like a genius play. But even if we weren't ahead, I mean, wow, this is pretty close here. 200,000 in there. He's raising almost every hand. And 10 versus cutoff. I think I'm going to jam here. He just raising too much there, I think, for us not to. And we do get to pick up, like, every time he folds there, we pick up 200,000, like 20% of our stack. And not only that, it gives us a bit of a buffer on these other guys. So it's a little bit risky in terms of, you know, he might wake up with ace 10 and snap it off. But at the end of the day, he's raising, I think, there with like 75, 80% of hands, which means it's a fist pump jam, really. But it is a little bit concerning just in case, you know, he snaps us off with ace 10 and we're crushed, and you know, the ICM is pretty significant, but that is that main sort of thing we're looking for, where we want to be the jammer. And not the player calling. And I mean, it's just a fun dynamic, really, isn't it? This right now, it's a lot of fun because it's exciting, you know, because anyone can bust at any minute. Every time you jam all in, you know, it's like for your tournament life, pretty much. So I will raise again here just because it's this guy. You know, I feel like he just tries to make a liar out of me here and just goes, no, aces up is raising everything. No, thank you. Thank you for folding. I think I will just fold there. I just don't want to get abused by the big blind. And I think he can 3-bet a decent range. I mean, we have the biggest bubble factor right now, right? Because we have the most to lose. Percuturo has the least to lose because he's short. He's supposed to be the next to bust anyway. But if we're the next to bust, we lose a lot, because technically most of the time from here we should come second. But we really want to come first. But probably going to fold there, I think. Oh, he does call with the ace 10. Wow. And the ace 2, I mean, it's a completely standard jam. And that's what I was talking about before, wasn't it? I mean, we were kind of lucky that he had trash, which he'll have most of the time, but that guy's obviously been unlucky that he actually did wake up with the hand. Donk bet into us 30, 40. I think I'm just going to raise this straight away here. And then we can probably check on the turn, take a free card if we want to. I think he's going to fold instantly a lot here. A lot of players donk here, just kind of for information. Or he might just make a liar of me and just jam like M21 in. It's going to fold, I think, yeah. It's interesting to see what this guy does here. Wow, we're so short. I don't even know if we can fold. I think I'm just going to... no, we'll wait. This guy's limped. It's a little bit suspicious. I'm actually going to small ball here. It's a little bit of a wussy play, to use a word that I probably used in primary school when I was growing up in Australia. But I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't raised, because he's been aggressive, and he should be trying to get, he should be trying to leverage his stack, and he should be putting us under pressure the whole time. But you know, maybe he's just got a hand that he wants to set flop with, and he just thinks we might 3-bet him a lot, because we have been a little bit in his face. So, but he might even have been check jamming us too, which is always a concern. But in any case, I think we're just going to give up now because it's a bad board, and we played that like a bit of a chicken, I know, but it's a pity he didn't raise there. But we're actually, I mean, three-handed. If this guy, I mean, I just don't think we can fold here. This guy's been uber tight, but I mean, three-handed ace jack, and we're not that deep. I just don't think we can do anything but call, and just hope that he has king 3. Oh, king 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate his jam because we have been raising a lot. But I hate it when we don't get there. But yeah, wow, this is a really weird hand, this top right one. Now he jams and he donk led. Let's think about this. He's donk led, now he shoves. Could have diamonds, he could be bluffing. Could have a 10, 7, 9, I guess. He could still be slow playing some of the time. Gonna make another nitty, fucking little bit of a nitty fold there. I didn't really want to raise flop, but I could have. And I think that's the sort of hand that later when I look at, I'm gonna really be displeased with the way I played it. I was a little bit distracted with the ace jack versus king 3, to be honest. But I'll bring it up in a minute. Let me just get rid of this ugly, ugly table. Yeah, the king 3 there, I mean, it's not that bad because our raising percentage is really high. And I mean, it's not a complete trash hand. So we're going to be folding a lot, and even if we've raised with like an ace-x, you know, we're probably going to fold because of the ICM anyway. So if I had like ace-4 there, I'd fold. I'd probably call there with like ace-9 up, I think. Ace-9 up, or something like that, I would probably call. Yeah, I think ace-9 up, and probably like 5, 6s up, 7, 6s, 7s around up, and ace-9 up, and king-queen suited. I'd probably, yeah, maybe, pretty close. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that it's a little bit kind of us versus him, in the sense that we both have around the same stack. And so by folding, we kind of say, hey, here's some more chips. But by calling, we can potentially, and he's busted now. By calling, we can potentially, get this even up, sort of get the stacks evened up in a heads-up battle, and try and take on the other guy heads up if we bust him, and it's a pretty good result. Yeah. Wow, we got there, right? We did get there. So at least we got that 1,000 score because, that should put us in profit today. Just trying to work out what to do on this table here. 12. Hasn't been that crazy. I think I will go ahead and 3-bet it here. I actually just 3-bet the guy this previous hand. I think he's going to jam a lot here, but we have got king queen and he's cut off, so M10 effective can't be that bad. 4s. No, it's can be very bad. Pretty unlucky to run in that hand. 7, 8. It's like a kind of like a cooler setup. Just 3-bet him last hand, and then in the very next hand 3-bet again when he has ace king. Balabaski, wow, he wakes up with aces. That's a cooler in the more traditional sense. And I've got to get this out of here, right? Yeah, I think I'm just going to shove this one. And this one. And bring in this one. And that's it. M8, I'm probably going to raise here. Well, there's only 2 players to beat because this big blind's sitting out. I think I'm going to... Actually, I will just raise it. If this guy jams, I'll call. Big blind's sitting out. He might widen his range up a bit, thinking we knew that. Ace 5. Oh, called Ace 5. What a read. Where's all the 8s? Ah. Kind of had a feeling after you call his hand, like they're going to punish you for trying to be smart. Yeah, it's just the way the poker gods work. They can be very vengeful, particularly spiteful. It's very hard to please them. So then there was 6. We're down to the last 6 tourneys now, guys. And I have no sound. I know the mic's still working because I can see that, but I did lose my sound, which is part of a bug that PokerStars has. Can we fold that? Never. Look like a jack, but we just can't fold. Especially when a 10's coming. Let's turn off stack and tile for a minute. Properties. Don't know if anyone else gets this bug, but have to actually adjust the settings on the headset. Just play around with the volume and just play around with the sort of enhancements and that sort of thing, disable and click in, and then apply and whatever, and just play around with a few things and then it usually comes back. And it's back. I don't know if that's a stars bug or what. I think I'm going to go to the onsen today. I need a bit of a relax after busting ace jack against king 3, 3-handed. Triceratops, still 89 left. 28 of 89. Calling these guys obviously here, top right, the M 3.5s. However, this guy, and he hasn't been 3-betting much. We are probably folding, I guess. Full 2.5x. He's 3-bet 1 of 37 hands. Yeah, okay, buddy. Gonna give you that one. Oh, this guy's been really crazy loose actually, hasn't he? Raised first in 39%. And he's raising a lot from everywhere. It's pretty thin here, but I think I might actually just take this guy in here. I think he's just raising way too many hands. We gotta get chips sooner or later. We're getting down to M10, and yeah, I mean, I think this guy's just opening like ace X's, and I mean, it says it's raising 40% from early, so he could be raising like king 9s and all pairs and maybe some 10 jacks, and hopefully it doesn't have 10 jack. He does call, so I mean, I don't think he's trapping. He could be, but it's more likely he's being a massive fish. And it's not too bad a flop, because if he's got like 2s or 3s or 4s or something like that, he might call. He could have a 10 some of the time, but the SPR's 1, so we're just going to go in with it. Oh my god, ace 5. 7. Oh, there it is. There it is. A little bit of justice for ace 5. So, I mean, like, you know, you can see there that just how player dependent decisions can be. I mean, normally I'd be folding that hand, but in this case it was kind of a fist pump and a fist pump raise against that guy because we said he was so loose, and ace-x and so forth. But I didn't anticipate him really calling and having an SPR1 on the flop with it. But I mean, it doesn't really change, I guess, what I'm going to do. I think I'll still make the same play. But yeah, I mean, it's just fun to see players playing this way. So we can get rid of this now, right? Busted 14th. We can get rid of that, and I think we can get rid of that 9-4. Let's bring this to the middle now. And yep, okay. Try and make something happen here and bring you another final table, guys. I'm going to check out for a while. Hopefully I'll be back with some more bright lights soon.